Hi, I'm Philippa Ziegenhart. I'm a counsellor, former professional ballet dancer, and creator of the online course for performing artists, Believe in Yourself. For the last 5 years, I've been helping performers and students to work through their fears and self-doubts that just seem to plague people in this industry. And I know what it's like because I've been there myself. Today, I've got a really excellent training video for you on the importance of believing in yourself as a performing artist. I was at Out From Under, an industry event aimed at raising awareness about mental health issues in the entertainment industry. And they spoke about some research that's recently been done, some world-first research by Entertainment Assist and Victoria University on mental health in the entertainment industry, and the results were just staggering. 45% of performers experience moderate to severe levels of anxiety. That is 10 times the likelihood of the general population. And for depression, it's 5 times more. Suicidal thoughts are 4 to 5 times more likely for workers in the entertainment industry than they are for the general population, and twice as many take their own lives. Now, I don't know about you, but I'm not okay with those numbers. And I'm not okay with almost half of our performers experiencing really significant levels of anxiety. I'm not okay with our up-and-coming students entering the industry without the skills to cope better. And I'm especially not okay with it because as a performing artist myself, I know what it's like and I know where the anxiety and the issues come from. But as a counsellor, I also know the tools and strategies and skills that can really help you to change the way you see yourself and start to build your confidence from really deep down within. So that's why I'm passionate about helping people to believe in themselves, and that's why I've created this free video training, because I just want to get the word out there that there is a better way. So today we're going to look at the biggest thing that sabotages your confidence as a performing artist, and that's something called the self-worth equation. Now, when I first heard about the self-worth equation, it was when I was dancing with the Hamburg Ballet in Germany, and it just blew me away. For the first time, I was able to make sense of why I had such a strong need to succeed just to feel okay, and why I felt like I wasn't good enough quite a lot of the time. I started to realise why if I made a mistake or someone gave me some really harsh feedback or I missed out on a role, it could really rattle my confidence really easily. So it might be that you experience this too. So the self-worth equation is basically where you base your self-worth, which indicates your ability to believe in yourself, on your performance plus others' opinions of you. So basically, it means that you can only feel good about yourself when you're performing to really high standards and when other people approve of you and praise you and promote you. If either of those things, your performance or other people's opinions are kind of lacking, you can't feel good about yourself. You feel inferior, you start to feel inadequate and insecure about yourself, and that has a really crippling effect on your performance. You do not perform at your best when you feel like this. The self-worth equation causes a whole lot of other things too that are all too familiar to me. Things like fear of failure, perfectionism, overworking. It can lead to burnout. You can get isolated and withdraw. And one of the worst side effects for performers is that you can actually lose your creativity. And so you don't really enjoy what you do as much as you could or you used to. Now, the self-worth equation is true for a lot of people, not just performers. But because performers literally perform, you know, like you're a dancer, you're a singer, a musician, an actor, a comedian, a magician, I don't know what you are, but whatever it is, you actually literally perform and you get actual applause and opportunities and, you know, even the allure of fame sometimes based on other people's opinions of you. And so for that reason, the self-worth equation is extra potent in the entertainment industry. It's no wonder so many people have such high anxiety, depression and suicide rates, because there's a lot of pressure on performers to perform at their best and to impress people and to come up with things that are really, really high standard. If you don't learn how to break free from this equation, it will damage your self-worth and rob you of the joy that you deserve to have as a performing artist in what you do. So I want to show you how to do that, because if you can break free from the self-worth equation, you'll become less dependent on your performance and impressing other people in order to feel okay, and you'll start to be able to believe in yourself from the inside out and be able to cope with the challenges of the industry resiliently. Okay, so firstly, you need to know about the two strategies that most performers try to use when they're facing fear and self-doubt, but which really don't work very well. I want you to know about them so you can just avoid wasting any time on them. So the two strategies that most people go to when they feel fear and self-doubt are trying harder and thinking positive. Sure, you'll never get anywhere if you don't work hard, don't get me wrong here. But if you try and use trying hard as a strategy to overcome fear and self-doubt, it's actually one of the least effective strategies you could try. When you're feeling, insecure and inadequate, and you try harder, your effort becomes this compulsive thing where you're driven by this pressure to avoid failing or disappointing people. And so the harder you try, the more wound up you get, and the worse you feel and the worse you perform. So what you need to do when you're feeling fear and self-doubt is not to try harder, but to actually let go in your performance. This might feel counterintuitive, especially if you're a perfectionist like me, but if you can let go into your performance, you'll find that you're able to get some space from that self-worth equation so you can find your groove and start to do what it is you do best and perform really well. Now, the second thing that people try usually when they're feeling fear and self-doubt come up is to think positive. And people do this because they don't want to give in to the fear and self-doubt. So they say, think positive, you can do this. And again, I'm all for thinking positive. But the problem is when you put this surface level layer of positivity over like an underlying, really deep rooted negative mindset about yourself that's, living based on the self-worth equation, what happens is you say these positive things to yourself, but deep down, you just don't believe them. And so it doesn't really work. Positive thinking only works when it resonates deeply within you and it connects to real reasons and evidence that you have to believe in yourself, so that when you say those positive things, you go, yeah, that's me, I can do this. Now, I go into much more detail about how to deconstruct negative mindsets and how to build your confidence in yourself from the inside out in my Believe in Yourself course. But for now, I just want you to pause for a moment and get a really clear picture in your mind of this. When you're at your best, what are you like? When you perform at your best, what are you doing differently to when you're all stressed out and stuffing everything up? For me, I know that I danced at my best when I got into it, when I let go in my movements and I didn't worry about what anyone else thought of me, and I just let myself go and really just enjoy the performance. I know that in classes and rehearsals, I performed at my best when I focused on my goals, actually believing I could achieve them. I had a clear mind and I wasn't worried about all these silly things. So what's the picture like for you? Because that's what you need to get back to overcome fear and self-doubt. Don't just think positive, be authentic and bring that into your performance so that you can perform at your best from the inside out. Okay, you might be thinking, well, these ideas are all really nice, but what do you do when you're in a situation where, I don't know, maybe it's a competition or an audition or some other really stressful situation where your fear and self-doubt just goes through the roof? How do you believe in yourself in a situation like that? Well, in my next video, I'm going to teach you just how to do that. We're going to look at how the fear response works in your brain, and I'll teach you how to calm yourself down so that you can keep your cool under pressure and perform with confidence no matter how high your fear or self-doubt is going. We'll also look at the single most important thing that you need in order to be a resilient performer and avoid becoming one of the statistics that we talked about earlier. So I'd love it if you'd join us next time. Today, that's all we've got. If this has helped you, or you know someone else who you think could really benefit from this stuff, I'd love it if you'd share this video with them. Let's get the word out that there is a better way for performers. So thank you so much for watching. Scroll down and leave me a comment. I'd love to hear from you, and I look forward to seeing you in our next video.